This is a tutorial for an extremely beginner-friendly project. It is a top or skirt. It's kind of a 2-for-1, and all you need is a rectangle. You're going to take your bust measurement, and that will be this top of the rectangle here. So your bust all the way around the widest point, and then the length will just be whatever desired length you want for like a tube top above your bust to your waist or hips, wherever you want it to hit. So mine is 40 inches for my bust, and then my desired length was 14 inches. Then you're going to add 4 inches to that bust measurement, and then an extra inch for seam allowance for your length. So mine came out to 44 inches for this measurement, but that will be all the way around, so divide that by 2 to just get your rectangle. And so that will be 22 inches for me, and that will be my final measurement. And then the other side will be 15 inches for the length. So again, it's just a rectangle where the top is that measurement, 22 inches, and the length is 15 inches. And we're gonna cut 2 of these out. And that's your only pattern piece. So I'm using this cotton fabric. You can use any fabric you want for this. It can be stretchy or not stretchy. Mine is not stretchy. And then I'm just measuring that 15 inches for the length and starting to cut down here. And then the 22 inches for the width of my rectangle as well. And one best practice that I want to note is that you should pre-wash your fabric and iron it. You can see mine is not ironed, but that is a best practice. So if you're a beginner, I do want to mention that that's the best thing to do. Pre-washing makes it so that once you get the look you like and wear it, then if you wash it afterwards, it doesn't shrink on you. So you kind of already pre-shrunk it if it was going to shrink. So just a little fun tip. And here are my rectangles. I cut out 2 of these. I just cut them out at the same time I folded the fabric over. And next I'm going to put them right sides together. That means that the part of the fabric I want on the outside, like the pretty part, I'm going to have the 2 layers have that part touching. So you can see the more vibrant side is on the inside, and that means right sides together. So now my 2 rectangles are on top of each other, and I'm going to take my sewing clips. You can use clips or pins. I personally prefer sewing clips. I find them easier, and I don't stab myself accidentally. They're super cheap on Amazon, so I always recommend these, but if you have pins, literally whatever you have, just do the 2 sides together. Anything is fine. And then just sew down each side. I'm going to be using my regular sewing machine for this whole project. Since it's a beginner-friendly project, I want to show what it's like if you don't have a serger. So I am putting my presser foot down and just using a straight stitch. Right here past the needle is the seam allowance. And so mine is about 5/8. You should have a little marker on your sewing machine that'll show that. It doesn't really matter if you don't have that, or if you aren't sure. Just give yourself a little space from the needle to the end of the fabric, and you're going to do a few forward stitches, back stitch, and then forward stitches again. So I already did my forward, back, and now I'm doing my forward. The reason why you do back stitches is to secure your stitch in place, and then just slowly sew down, following the guide on the side to make sure you're keeping it straight. That's the best way to not get a wonky seam, is just look at the side and what it's lined up to on your little ruler on the side of the machine. Once you get to the end, you're going to do a few back stitches as well, and then pull your thread out and clip it. So that is just a regular straight stitch, and now we're going to finish the edge, and I'm going to move to a zigzag stitch on my machine. Any machine should have this, and this is instead of using a serger. If you have a serger, great, go ahead and use that, but I'm just showing what it's like if you don't. And so I'm just going to the right side of that straight stitch that we did, and just getting close to it, but not too close to where it will go over, and just doing a zigzag stitch down the side. My zigzag stitch length was pretty low, so it's a pretty condensed zigzag. You can increase this length if you want it to go faster, and you know, it doesn't really need to be that intense of a zigzag stitch to secure the edge. It's just a little something to help your fabric not fray once you start wearing it and washing it and stuff. So I'm just working my way all the way down the side, again to the right of that straight stitch that we previously did. And once you get to the end, then I'm just going to stop that, do a couple back stitches, not as crucial for this zigzag, but I still do them, and then pull that out. And so now we have a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. Next, I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing for the other side. The great thing about this project is you only need a little bit of fabric depending on your measurements and your fabric's width, but I only used like half a yard or so, and you can really use like scrap fabric or, you know, thrifted sheets, anything that, especially if you're a beginner, that keeps it cheap. So yeah, you can literally use anything, you don't need that much. Also, I am doing my straight stitch and then switching to the zigzag and just doing the exact same thing I did on the other side. But additionally, this project took me exactly 37 minutes from the point I started my recording for cutting out the rectangles all the way to the final finished project. And that includes, you know, me switching angles to do this tutorial and dealing with my tripod and stuff. So I probably could have done it in like 25 minutes or so. So it is a quick project as well, which I love, especially early on, just to get your confidence up and not have too many steps. But anyway, moving over to, this is what it looks like, by the way. You can see the straight stitch is pretty faint there and the zigzag stitch next to it. And then the raw edge along the side. Since I did have a larger seam allowance, so there's a lot of fabric past my zigzag stitch, I'm just trimming a little off. If you don't have too much excess, you can leave it, it's not that big of a deal. But since I had a lot, I'm trimming this off. Make sure not to cut your zigzag stitch though, so don't cut too close if you do this step. And now just moving to the other side and doing the exact same thing. And once I do that, then now I am going to even out these other parts. So this isn't where I sewed, this is just the top and the bottom. Since I self-drafted and didn't like do precise lines, they're a little uneven. So in order to fix that, I'm just gonna fold the whole top in half so that my seams are where I'm lining up here on the sides. And then on the top and bottom, like not the seam area, I'm just trimming off any excess where it got uneven. If yours isn't uneven, then great, you don't need to do this, but like I said, I don't really draw precise lines or cut with super precise measurements. So this is just a nice way to clean it up, is to fold your garment in half so that there's symmetry. So now that everything is all cleaned up, here's what we have, those two rectangles just sewn together. And now I'm going to move over to just the top and bottom edge, see where it's just this raw edge here. And I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around to finish that edge. So if you had a serger, this is where you would serge your edges, but like I've mentioned, I want this to be super beginner friendly, so I'm just doing my zigzag stitch. I did increase my stitch length a little bit here just so it would go faster. That means that the zigzag isn't quite as tight. And so, you know, since there is more distance to go along the top band, then my stitch would go faster. So just lightly guide this through, and you're gonna go all the way around your entire top or bottom, always start at your side seam. So I started at my side seam. You can see I just went over another one, but that way your forward and back stitches are hidden under your arm. If there's a little extra stitch or something, if you start in like the middle of your top, it might show. Although this will be folded under, but just best practice, it's always good to start these type of things at the underarm seam. So here's what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see, but just a little zigzag stitch as close to the edge as possible pretty much. There's no like seam allowance on this. And then flipping over to do the other side. So like I said, the top or the bottom, starting at this side seam where it will be at your underarm, and just going all the way around, and just gently guide with your left hand. You don't need to pull it through or anything like that. You want it to be at a speed that you can kind of just keep your fabric flat and just kind of keep working it through. My fabric gets a little bunched up. I would probably slow down a little, especially if you're a beginner, just to keep all that fabric to the left of the needles flattened. But I was just working it out with my hand, and always do your forward and back stitches at the beginning and end of your stitch. And there is what we have, the finished top and bottom of your top. Moving over to an iron. So this can be any iron, it doesn't need to be a special one, and we are going to take the fabric on the edge and fold it towards the wrong side. So like I just pointed out, the right side is on the inside there, the more vibrant side. And I'm folding this over by 1/2 inch, roughly. Again, I don't do crazy precise measurements, but if you want to measure it, I would recommend 1/2 inch, and just pressing that down. If you ever have a sewing pattern or hear about pressing your seams, that just means using an iron and ironing it. So just taking my iron and going all the way around, working that top edge folded over to the wrong side. So here's kind of what it looks like, and then I'm going to move to the other side, and this will be the bottom, this side, and we're just going to fold it over a tiny bit. So this would be like a 1/4 inch, because we're just going to hem this, so this is just rolled over enough so that I can stitch it down and then have a nice simple hem. So again, you don't really need to measure this side either, but if I were to put a number on it, it'd be a 1/4 inch for this edge. And just kind of slowly working my way all the way around. And then once you have that, here's what it looks like with those two folded over. So on the 1/2 inch one, we're gonna sew all the way around, leaving a little gap, like an inch or two at the underseam, and then just hemming all the way around the bottom where you have the shorter folded over side. So now this is the top band where we're going to leave a little gap. So start with a forward stitch and a back stitch, and then you want to start at that side seam again where I was just pointing out, and then sew along where your zigzag stitch is, just to secure that folded part down. You do want to leave enough of the seam allowance, so the space on the right side of your needle, because we're going to thread some elastic through this little channel that we're creating. But yeah, just kind of sew down the left here and make sure it's nice and straight. And then, like I mentioned, here's what I mean by leaving a gap. So I'm not going to sew all the way to the side seam where I started. I'm going to do my forward and back stitch, and there's about, you know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches here where there's a little opening, just like this. And this will allow us to put our elastic through it. So we'll do that next, but first I'm gonna sew down the hem. So flipping to the other side, this is the like 1/4 inch that we pressed over for the hem, and just start at the side and sew all the way around. No need to leave a gap for this one. Just do your forward and back stitches and sew all the way down. It doesn't matter how much seam allowance you have on this, you just want to make sure to sew that folded over edge down to the top. I did stop over the side seam just to make sure it went through smoothly, because sometimes if you go over a bump, you could kind of get a little wiggly line. So if you need to slow down or stop, definitely recommend that. and just sewing all the way around. This is a nice, really easy way to get a clean hem with just your sewing machine. And forward and back stitches, and then cutting that. And now you have a nice little hem for your top that's really clean and simple. And so now we are going to get some elastic into that top channel. So I'm using 1/4 inch elastic here, and it is the length of my upper bust area. So definitely just measure on yourself how you would want the length to be for a tube top. So put it on your body and just have it overlap by about 1 inch so that there's that extra little amount that you can sew. So I'm just taking a safety pin and going through that little opening that we left earlier. So finding that on the side there. And then all I'm going to do is take that safety pin. It allows you to push the elastic through. And just kind of thread the elastic all the way through the top band. When you're doing this, definitely be careful to not have the elastic twist, because that will be kind of frustrating when you're wearing the top. So definitely do your best to keep it flat. And then once you get to the other end, make sure you still have both sides and don't pull it all the way through to where you thread it through too fast and then lose the other side. So you'll end up with these two little ends and overlap them, making sure it's like flat all the way around, not twisted. And overlap them by, like I said, about 1 inch. So when you measure it on your body, you want to make sure you have this room to be able to overlap like this. And then we're just going to do a zigzag stitch right here to secure this elastic in place. And I'll show you what that looks like on the machine. This part, getting it under the presser foot can be a little tedious, just making sure it stays overlapped. So don't get frustrated. This happens to me all the time, but I kind of use my fingers to just guide it through and then do my best to get them to stay in place overlapped over one another. If they're not completely aligned, it's gonna be okay. You don't want them to be like too crooked, but if it's not perfect, it'll be fine. It'll be inside the top, you won't be able to see it. So once you do that, put your presser foot down, and then we're just gonna go, I like to go forward and backwards all the way over that overlap section. So go forward like 1 inch, backwards 1 inch, forwards 1 inch. It just makes that elastic extra secure in place. It's not really necessary. I just like to know that this piece isn't gonna pop off somehow and then your top is gonna fall down. So I like to do extra forward and back stitches to be sure. And here is what that looks like, just nice and secure. It's not super clean or anything. And then you're going to pull it into the top and secure down that gap that you left prior. So if your elastic is like hanging out like this, all you're gonna do is kind of pull it and stretch it through the rest of the top so that it disperses more evenly throughout the whole top band. And that way, then you have a nice little flat area to sew down for that gap. So just kind of stretch it out, and then we're just gonna sew with a straight stitch, kind of lining up where we left off before the gap, and then just sew to the other side and do a couple forward and back stitches at either end as well. And now you have a nice top. I'm just making the top band more even where the bunching is, and I'm gonna flip this right side out. And here is what the final product looks like. Definitely make sure to press or iron all your seams and just the fabric in general. But here is how it turned out. I'm just getting it on my mannequin to show you. I'll also try it on so that you can see it, how it looks on me. But here's the final product. I love it, and I think you could even make it like into a dress. You could do it shorter. You can add your own flare if you wanted. And here is how it looks on me. Super simple and so perfect for summer. And then I also realized that this could totally work for a simple skirt as well. So a fun little 2-for-1 project. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for watching.